Ladies and gentlemen, if you've been waiting for a clear signal that the Iraqi dinar may finally be on the move, you'll want to pay close attention because today's report isn't just another rumor floating around. This is the type of development that has the entire community buzzing. We're talking about a face-to-face exchange at a bank teller's window. Someone reportedly handed over Iraqi dinar and received US dollars at a rate far above the usual figures. And the name tied to this story is none other than Frank26, a voice many in the dinar space have followed for years. This could be the start of the long-anticipated revaluation, or at least its first quiet phase. So buckle up, what we're about to cover could be the most impactful news in a very long time. Here's what makes this story so electrifying. According to the account, the exchange wasn't hidden or conducted through some private backroom deal. It happened at the teller's counter, in view of bank staff, processed through official systems. That detail matters because banks don't just invent rates on the spot. Their screens pull numbers directly from centralized systems. If a teller's monitor displayed a higher rate for the dinar, it means that rate is live somewhere within the banking network. This naturally raises the question, could this be a controlled rollout designed to quietly test systems before going public? Historically, major currency shifts have often started with small, controlled exchanges for selected individuals before the wider world sees the change. For years, the dinar community has asked the same questions. When will we see it? And when will the rate change be real? Countless false alarms, fabricated screenshots, and endless chatter have left many skeptical. But this time feels different. This isn't a random forum rumor or a story passed down secondhand. It's tied to someone who has long been cautious about what he shares. Frank26 has earned trust within the space, and his name linked to an actual bank interaction carries weight. And since banks operate under strict oversight, the idea that a teller could process this exchange by mistake is unlikely. At the very least, it suggests higher rates may already exist in parts of the system, even if they're not broadly visible yet. The community's reaction has been swift and intense. Holders are calling banks, visiting branches, and keeping a close eye on currency boards. Interestingly, the responses they're getting aren't the usual dismissive "we don't handle dinar." Instead, some are hearing lines like "not processing that yet" or "our system is updating." Those phrases are very different from the outright denials of the past, fueling speculation that something significant is unfolding. If true, it could point to a transition phase where select banks or clients are accessing new rates while systems across the country gradually come online. A phased rollout would make sense, allowing technical checks, staff training, and regulatory compliance to be handled smoothly. Think about what this would mean for dinar holders. For years, people have tucked notes away in safe deposit boxes or kept them hidden at home, always waiting for a Sunday that never had a date. But if genuine exchanges are happening now, even on a small scale, that Sunday suddenly feels very close. Holders are double-checking their stacks, ensuring security, and bracing for the possibility that quick action may be required. Beyond the financial side, this news stirs something deeper. It renews hope. After years of patience, the dream may finally be walking up to the front door. And this isn't about rumor anymore, it's tied to a tangible, bank-level event. What makes this harder to dismiss is the proximity and simplicity of the reported exchange. It wasn't overseas or tied to international banking channels. It was a straightforward visit to a teller's window where the system recognized the rate. Banks don't improvise. They pull official data, follow rigid protocols, and log every transaction. That's why the idea of this being a test run or limited release seems so plausible. In finance, massive changes don't happen in one leap. They roll out step by step, with controlled phases before opening to the masses. This fits the pattern of how major shifts are often managed. Looking at the broader context, Iraq has been moving steadily toward reforms, improved stability, and stronger international partnerships. These are the same conditions that typically precede currency adjustments. New trade agreements, infrastructure projects, and economic reforms all build confidence in a stronger dinar. Combine those elements with reports of real bankable movement, and the timing begins to align. Like puzzle pieces clicking together, Each individual step may seem small, but collectively they form a picture that's difficult to ignore. We also need to recognize the emotional impact on the dinar community. After years of setbacks, skepticism is natural. Many had been burned by hype before. But this feels more grounded because the details are specific and verifiable: an actual bank, an actual teller, an actual exchange. That concreteness sets it apart from speculation. Even if not everyone can walk into their bank tomorrow and expect the same results, the fact that it has happened at all suggests the process is real. And if confirmed, we may be closer to a historic moment than anyone thought. Another angle is the idea of selective exchanges. Banks often test new systems with chosen clients before opening them to the public. These could be individuals with significant holdings, trusted relationships, or located in regions where agreements are already in place. This would explain why results aren't consistent everywhere yet. Still, the key point remains: if one legitimate bank has processed this at a higher rate, then the infrastructure to support it is live. That fact alone changes the landscape dramatically. There's also speculation about international pressure playing a role. In recent years, the global focus on fair trade and balanced currencies has grown stronger. Some believe global political figures are pushing Iraq and others to bring their currency values closer to real market strength. Such moves can spark ripple effects when one adjusts. Others often follow. If Iraq is stepping forward now, this may be part of a larger coordinated plan to rebalance parts of the global economy. That would elevate the dinar's revaluation from a national story into an international event. History also provides perspective on timing. Once early exchanges begin, rollouts typically move quickly, measured in days or weeks, not years. The infrastructure is already built. It's just about execution. This could mean that while only a few can exchange today, within weeks, it could be open to many more. The important shift is that the conversation has moved from will it happen to when will it happen for everyone. That transition is monumental for holders who have been waiting on the sidelines for years. Of course, caution is still warranted. Banks are deliberate, and they may pause between trial phases and full launch. Compliance, fraud prevention, and stability always come first. But even if this moment is just a limited test, it proves higher rate exchanges can be processed and that banks are preparing operationally. That in itself is a massive departure from where things stood not long ago. It signals movement measured, but undeniable. In the coming days, more eyes will be on banks, staff responses, and online currency boards. People will be watching to see if the cautious not yet becomes a confident yes we can. They'll be monitoring for new rate postings and for statements from financial institutions. Any shift toward public acknowledgement would mark the beginning of the next phase. Until then, confirmation of even one real-world exchange keeps anticipation running high. So here's where we stand. A credible report of a higher-rate Iraqi dinar exchange at a US bank tied to a well-known figure in the community. It has reignited hope, sparked a flurry of activity, and set off speculation about a phased rollout already in motion. Whether it's the start of the full event or just a test, it proves this is no longer only theory. It's happening in practice. For holders everywhere, the message is clear: keep your dinar safe, stay alert, and be ready. The moment long awaited may finally be closer than ever.